That's not how the Force works.
I don't care!
Put a ticket in and make her name it gay!
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the movie. There's one scene that sticks out, and it probably sticks out for everybody, which is that, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
What are you talking about?
G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Yo! Welcome to Casual Rage 260, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. How y'all doing? I'm sorry I wasn't here last week. I had a few appointments and a couple of things on that I needed to get done, and I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to make it. It was definitely a 50-50, and I would have set up the stream if I could, but obviously I wasn't able to get around to doing it. But we are here this week, and on a different day, of course. I had to change. It's a bit of a mess at work at the moment. My manager's taken 2 weeks off. He's taking his family to Queensland, which is kind of awesome. He doesn't take much time off, and he definitely deserves and he needs the break. So it was good that he was able to get away. But then his leave started on Monday, and one of the other sales guys ends up sick, and he's not going to be back until Friday. Well, he's not really sick. He ended up getting like a contagious rash or something. I don't know who he's been sleeping with. But yeah, and I'm off screen because I don't feel fucking great. And I just, if I've got a lot of, like, I don't think I look horrible or nothing. I got a bit of a headache, and like I might be sitting here rubbing my head for half the time, but I'll still be talking and I kind of still sound normal. So today, we're just going to chill. We've got a lot to get through, though, because we obviously missed last week. We've got a lot of Odyssey stuff to go over. And we are just going to touch on Moana really quickly. Not necessarily because I give a fuck, but mainly because of the narrative that's being pushed around that in comparison to the narrative being pushed around the Odyssey. Which has been the hypocrisy in that has been shown. And I did want to, like, I had a couple of clips here of the quartering. I've seen Chrissy Mayer's clip of her saying that she's been fired from, officially been fired from FNT. It's just, If only you could see what you've done. Like, you know, just look inwards a little bit and see what responsibility you can sort of take. And of course, we've got Seal of the Week. But yes, we will get through some of this stuff. But how you all doing? Let's see who we've got here in the chat. We've got Brother Croix the Ninth. How you doing? Good to see you. That was ages ago, yeah? Because I see then this comment. Dr. Coffin Nails, how you doing? Good to see you. Caleb Levine, how you doing? Good to see you as well. Ray John, yes. We've got Mike Hill, and Mike Hill with a 55-month member chat. Fuck, that's a long time. What is that? That's 4.5 years? Something like that? Jesus. Mandalorian and Grogu releases digitally next Tuesday. Yes. And I think it's capped out at 340 million worldwide. What a disaster that is. And like, no hype. There was no real conversation behind the Mandalorian and Grogu. There was a little bit for a week, maybe 2 weeks, mainly because of the tracking of the box office, or perhaps even going into a 3rd week. But the extent that people were talking about it obviously wasn't in regards to how good it was or anything like that, because it wasn't good. It was tracking it for its performance. It was just tracking it for its performance. Thank you for the member chat. And Mike, you're a legend. Thank you for being a member for so long and helping me out as well. I know I haven't received anything from you in a while, but I appreciate everything that you have done. We got Fear of FEMA. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Save Stargate. Yes, save Stargate. I don't even know what's happening in regards to that. It kind of just, well, at least in my algorithm, it kind of just died off. I think with some of the other campaigns that I've seen being run in the past, like think about the Save Ben Solo movie or whatever it was. And all those campaigns that they do, the studios don't listen to that. They don't watch that. You know, back when they first announced that the expanded universe was being decanonized, there were billboards, like fan-funded billboards and stuff to continue the expanded universe, maybe even just as a separate thing, so that they could complete some of the stories. It falls on deaf ears. Gabriel Knight, how you doing? Darth Plagueis the Wise, yes. Jaren Carter. I hate it when it's like, especially because of my dyslexia, like when it's all like together like that, especially with no caps, it fucks with my brain. How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, in memory, sorry, I should have read that. In memory of one of my heroes, Sam Neill, thank you for everything, Dinosaur Man. Yes, that was one of the first things I was going to bring up. Seeing as you've mentioned it. Rest in peace, Sam Neill. And I see you, Sula Felix. Good to see you. Everybody else, workers, how you all doing? But yes, Sam Neill passed away this week. Passed away on Monday. I was shocked, actually. I was at work and I opened up my Twitter, and the first post at the top of my feed was Gary's tweets just saying RIP. I was like, no way. Fucking really? Like, shocking. How old was he? $78. And he died in Sydney, Australia. He died in Australia. Let's take a look at some of his movies. Thor: Love and Thunder? Really? I haven't seen it, so I didn't actually know that. The Hunt for Red October. It's a good movie. Obviously, Jurassic Park. The Piano, I never saw that. I know there's a lot of movies of his that I haven't seen. Where does it give his movie list? Here. Known for. Is that it? Just fucking 3? 4? Oh no, here we go. What are the... I've never even heard that movie before. I mean, obviously the most well-known thing that he is known for, that was a weird sentence, is Jurassic Park. He did do that new Jurassic World, yes. I mean, other than The Hunt for Red October, I don't think there was really anything else that I'd sort of explicitly recognize him from. But yes, it was obviously a little bit of a shock to the system, to be fair. Like I said, I just opened up my Twitter and there it was, like, Sam Neill's gone. We're losing a lot of the good ones, man. A lot of the good ones. So, bit of sad news, but rest in peace, Sam Neill. All right, I do want to just talk about House of the Dragon really quickly. Like, obviously, I got a lot to talk about when it comes to the Odyssey and stuff like that. And I know that the last Casual Rage that we did, not last week, the week before, I almost completely forgot about it and got to the end of the stream and I'm like, fuck, I need to sort of just go through this. And I just touched on certain points. The thing that's been the most disappointing with this third season of House of the Dragon is obviously the writing and the way that the characters are portrayed. Because it's just, no matter what circumstances you're in, if you're inside that person's head, the decisions and things that they're saying or things that they're doing or actions that they're taking or whatever the case may be, a lot of it just doesn't make any sense. Now, I haven't read the books. I do watch Gary and Mauler and Ryan and those guys, Shad, on their weekly reviews after they've watched it, and obviously after I've watched it. So that, like, especially like Ryan and Gary and stuff, they're much more knowledgeable when it comes to what's happening and the way that this is differing from the book and everything else. But it's kind of disappointing also because it does look good. This first season started off really well. I mean, obviously with everything with our entertainment these days, Star Wars, Star Trek, blah, 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 so on and so forth, Lord of the Rings, you're ending up disappointed as a fan of these franchises, no matter which thing you sort of look at the moment. And I can kind of understand how people felt with Game of Thrones, because this universe is so there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of pieces on the board, and they're like a lot of movement in those pieces, and the actions. There's a lot of intelligence in the writing to be able to keep a lot of those characters like the chemistry in those characters working together and enemies and all, like, you know, it's very intricate. Very intricate. But the problem is like it falls apart when the writing starts getting bad, and I don't know. I'm just disappointed by this third season. And this is what I was about to say. Like, the thing that's disappointing is like how it does look good. There are elements of the story that are okay, story threads that are okay. Like, I know that this part with Damon and his daughter and stuff like that, I don't believe this takes part in the book. But like, they have sick, like, that looks so good. Now, I know that I'll always complain about like Disney shills. Oh, the only thing that they can say about this Mandalorian movie is how good it looks and all of that kind of thing. That's not the only good thing about this show, is how good it looks. It certainly isn't. Like, I think a lot of people do talk about this character Damon, and Matt Smith obviously playing him. Like, really, really good, compelling, interesting. But then when the people around that character are just retarded, it dampens the characters that you like. And it almost seems like a lot of the characters that are compelling and they almost take a back seat in all of this to have the characters that are just pointless or annoying. Now, I'm not saying that you can't still tell a good story and it still be compelling for the audience with annoying characters and things like that in there. But when the annoying characters are just as retarded as some of the main characters that are being retarded, then it's just a bunch of retardedness. And like there's like one specific that sort of pops into my head. And this is the thing. Another thing that I'll say is, like, season 1, I was paying a lot more attention and I maintained like an understanding. Now in this third season, it's like, because of how much sort of damage the writers have done or whatever, I'm not as, like, I'd be more inclined to grab my phone and maybe start doing something on my phone while having it on in the background now than I would have been in season 1, if that makes sense. You know, I don't know whether or not this was something that they actually, you know, definitely do or have confirmed that that's what they're actually doing. But like, apparently in the book, when Rhaenyra, you know, is sitting on the throne or something, she ends up cutting herself or something on one of the blades, or I don't exactly know. But that's like a bad omen. And, you know, apparently there are some people that noticed that. Now, in the last episode, she was on her period. I don't know why that was so relevant, to make sure that the audience definitely knew that. But, you know, it just, having her in that moment and doing the things that she's doing, you could see that she's obviously like, it looks like she's having cramps while she's sitting on the throne while talking to just the citizens and getting, you know, them requesting certain things of the throne or whatever. I don't exactly know what it's called. I don't know all the details and I don't know all the lore. And I never really watched Game of Thrones. I've watched now like 2.5 seasons or something. But she's sitting there and she's like clutching the arm chair, like the arm part of the throne, you know, the chair, while she's trying to have these conversations and settle, you know, people's worries and this and that. And that just shows that this is why, like, it's kind of one of the reasons why a queen doesn't necessarily rule, at least not in sort of those times necessarily. Like, you know, people will make the argument, oh, we had a queen ruling Britain for how long? 70 years or however fucking long it was. And people will say that some of those times were some of the best times. I don't doubt it. But I'm not saying that you can't actually have these like female leaders and stuff like that, but they need to know their limits. Just like any like even a king, they need to know what they can and can't do. And it's like, it's like when she makes that decision to go flying out and helping in the battle, and it's like, hang on, if you die in this battle, then like our entire campaign, what we're fighting for to get the throne, all of that kind of thing dies with you. We then just give all our loyalty to the High Towers if you die. So it's a stupid decision for her to make, to want to go out and fight in the battle. And then, the circumstances of events with Jace. I know that Jace dies in that battle anyway, but it obviously it goes down differently in the books than it does on screen. But yeah, like with the blood thing, apparently, like, there is obviously, and I know Ryan mentioned this on their stream after watching the episode, but like, are they interpreting that the blood that they noticed from a cut from one of the swords or something is now her period blood? Like this, it's kind of gross just even thinking about that. That's what they would do. But see that especially the female director or the female writer that was writing the episode, Sarah something. It wouldn't surprise me if she thinks that that's empowering. The fact that there's no council members, her council members is that fucking annoying chick that, talks with an accent that just sounds like it's from nowhere, like it's a made up fucking weird sound. Midnight 7, how you doing? Big Phrase, how you doing? Did she also queef on the throne too? Gross. So again, I'm disappointed with how this goes, because and it seems to be the case at the moment. They get you invested, they get you in on like a first season of something. Now, obviously, this isn't just anything, though. This is, there's a lot of shows. Well, not a lot of shows. There's obviously Game of Thrones and Night of the Seven Kingdoms and this. But like the universe that this is in, and the expectation of the kind of dialogue or the kind of writing and the kind of character development and intelligence in the writing that you think that you're going to get in a show like this, and it just disappears. It's fucking disappointing. And it almost does start feeling like a waste of time. Like I'll finish watching this season, but is there a fourth season? I'm pretty sure they're doing a fourth season, aren't they? I don't know. I might just continue moving forward after this season with watching Gary and that stream that they do, because they give a good description of everything that's happening. They've shown the scenes on screen. I think I'd rather do that than actually even watch the episode and then watch them, to be honest, with how bad it's sort of gotten. Like the dialogue and everything that happens in this scene is actually, not bad. But again, from the books, I don't think that this is the way that this is supposed to happen, or the way that this goes down, or anything like that. So And sometimes it is just best to honor the source material and do what the book did. It's how people fell in love with the story. I don't know how they can't understand that. Don't know how they can't understand that. Nuisance bird, caw. How you doing? I only want to see the dragons. Well, see that's the other thing too. Like I said, when they're putting that much effort into making the dragons and making the scenery look so good, it becomes disappointing when the writing isn't up to scratch, the directing isn't up to scratch, the character work isn't up to scratch, the actual the heart and soul of what the show should be isn't what's that should be at the top of the list. So we'll continue. Like I said, this third season. You know, in regards to what I said about them, how these studios now they do a first season, they get you captivated, they get your interest, and then they start to wokeify it, or they start to just do stupid shit and write stupid stuff. It kind of makes you it makes me fearful for what they could do for something like Night of the Seven Kingdoms. But like in this universe, it's kind of like with Star Wars, right? In this universe, it's kind of like I don't want to have bits and pieces that I just like, and then then it falls off a cliff, and like, okay, I've got to ignore the last 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, let's say, and then I can watch the first and maybe the second season of this show. Probably not even the second season because it doesn't end. That's the problem with the end of the second season. And then what? You get season 2 of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. They wokeify that. Oh, I can only watch like, the first season. It's annoying as fuck. And then we got the fucking Odyssey, man. The Odyssey. Now, I was originally, like at the beginning of the year especially, I was fully on board and excited for the Odyssey. I was excited because it was Christopher Nolan. And then obviously there was the rumors. No, I think it was confirmed, and I was sort of like, it still hadn't have sort of sunk in with what they were actually doing. So I was kind of like, I was still sort of half willing to give it a bit of the benefit of the doubt, but the more and the closer we've gotten to the release of this, I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Nolan has always been overrated. I actually kind of agree with you. I think that there are a fair few of Christopher Nolan's movies that I do like. But I don't think. Let me see. I don't think there's Sorry, I lost my train of thought because I was actually looking up what movies he's done. So, Following I've never seen. Memento, I've heard good things about it, but oh no, I have seen Memento, but I don't remember it. Insomnia, I don't think I've seen that. Batman Begins, obviously. The Prestige. I need to see fucking like at least a poster for something like that. The Dark Knight, obviously. Inception. Dark Knight Rises. So you got the Batman trilogy. Interstellar, Dunkirk, Tenet. I never watched Tenet. Oppenheimer, and now the Odyssey. So I guess I could say I don't necessarily mind his trilogy. The last one's obviously the worst one. Inception, I think, is okay. The more I dislike Alan Page, the more I actually kind of dislike that movie when I see it. Interstellar is probably my favorite movie out of all of his. Dunkirk, I thought was good. I know not everybody enjoys that. I thought it was fine. Oppenheimer, I liked as well, and I never saw Tenet. Mr. Bantham, how you doing? So yeah, I thought that there was a possibility that this movie is going to be okay, but now I just don't think that at all. I don't even want to go see it. I know that Flash is probably going to want to talk about it on Saturday. I'm going to have to see if I can get a copy of it. It's not going to be the best copy. That's the thing. So I'm not going to be able to talk about the visuals much. But I got a heap of clips here. We've got all the way to basically here is all Odyssey stuff in the tabs. Now this is the other thing too with this is I don't know whether or not is this a new interview? Let's take a listen. Because okay, so with this movie and with movies that we've seen coming up and recent promotional stuff, it is, I reckon, the promotional tours of the actors and the questions that get asked and the answers that they give and everything that actually now do more damage than seeing Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy in the trailer, or seeing Alan Page in the trailer. It's what they then start to say afterwards. Because, take for example, Charmin Obaid Chinoy, right, with the Rey Star Wars movie and all of that shit, and she comes out and she says, "It's about time a woman, styled the fucking universe," or whatever the fuck she said. I can't remember the exact wording. Straight away, people are like, okay, well, fuck this. I'm out. They didn't even need to see a trailer. They didn't even need to see an actual frame of fucking anything. And they have already determined that this is going to be fucking bullshit. So they go out, they make these movies, and then they hit the press tour and they completely destroy the movie before it can possibly come out. And then they wonder why. Oh, you haven't seen it yet. You need to see it. No, the trailer, first of all, is what's designed to actually get us excited for it. Now, I will say in the trailer, there's some decent, again, looking shots. But that means nothing if the actors, and we're going to listen to what Alan Ng and Chris Gore said about it straight out of the theater. But I think even in the way that the characters speak and stuff like that, it's just, there's nothing, as far as I can understand, there's nothing that, fuck. Dr. Coffinails, you've fucked my train of thought. It's because I read that and I fucking went, oh. Anyway, the point is the promotional shit that these fucking idiots are doing ain't helping anything. In fact, if anything, it's just doing damage. So let's take a listen to some. Yeah, fuck you. No, I'm only joking. Let's take a listen to just some of the things, shall we?
In terms of looking at nature as if it's some sort of cis heteropatriarchal structure is absurd, and that this, gender binary that we've created is nothing but a quaint little myth. And
this gender binary that we've created. So what, you're creating a binary, which is the two genders? This is the thing. She actually, this is word garbage because she's actually making our point in that last thing that she just said. Listen to that.
And that this, gender binary that we've created is nothing but a quaint little myth.
So she's trying to say that we say that gender binary that they've created is just a little myth. But I thought it wasn't a binary. I thought you could be 100 different genders. So you do. So hang on. You're saying that you're creating the gender binary? No, we're not creating the gender binary. We know that there is only a gender binary, male and female. What the fuck are you talking about?
And I think, her work and this documentary really
I say, so this is in promotion of something else, a documentary of some kind.
Shows that what we have been taught in school in regards to these structures, men being superior, women being inferior, submissive or what have you, it being...
It's called Second Nature, and it's about, I bet you it is. It's that fucking documentary about fucking how animals are gay.
This, heterosexual existence is just completely false. And I think what's so wonderful about this documentary is it really illustrates why that information has been so suppressed, and how important it is for us to all learn about this, and how it's only...
you still sound like a chick that's trying to sound like a dude, right?
Expansive and exciting, all of this information.
I want to go to the golden...
Gay. Is this from the same thing?
Who's sort of, struggling in this time, and the headlines, and just to know that you're, not alone and loved and celebrated.
God, it's so victim. I'm such a victim.
By so many, and try and block out the noise from, absolute vile losers who must just be so profoundly uncomfortable with themselves they can't...
Oh, we must be profoundly uncomfortable. You're the one that's profoundly uncomfortable in yourself to the point where you cut your tits off and start pretending to be a dude at 5'1".
Can't handle that someone could get to a place that I think, that, trans people do get to, which is a level of self-acceptance and understanding I think is really beautiful and profound.
That's so bad. That's such a bad thing to be putting out there and saying. The trans people are the ones that have been able to find themselves and are comfortable in themselves finally, or something, some bullshit. And because we're uncomfortable with them being fucking comfortable, we're the ones that are fucking retarded. That's you're a devil. You're a demon. Pushing this shit. Pretending to be a role model. But yeah, Verbal Ride says it perfectly there. She should smile more. It's victim. And even in the tone of voice, the way that these people speak, they have to speak with a victim tone. That's the first thing that I thought when I started listening to this one.
I hope for anyone who's sort of, struggling in this time, and the headlines
Notice too that even obviously we can't see the person that she's speaking to, but like the lack of eye contact, the body language shows that in the back of her mind, she knows that what she's saying is bullshit, but she's the one that's suppressing that natural inclination of truth in her own brain. That's why you get body language like this. Like, notice that even there, yeah, like it almost gets to a point of like smiling about whatever she's saying here, and then like, oh, I better switch it back.
You know, struggling in this time, and the headlines, and
oh, better get back. I can't be seen. All the headlines and the bullshit. Oh no, hang on, I need to go back to my victimness.
Just to know, like, that you're, you know.
See, even that. Look, okay, so that's the extent of eye contact that you can get from a person like this.
To know, like, that you're, you know, not alone and loved and celebrated by so many, and
also too, what dude out there talks like this? What actual man like this is fucking hell. All good, Melissa. How you doing?
Try and block out the noise from, you know, absolute vile losers who must just be so profoundly uncomfortable.
Anyway, we've already heard all of this, but yeah, just the body language, the tone of voice, just got to be constantly a victim. All right, now this is some promotion from her regarding the Odyssey.
Getting that call from Chris Nolan must be such a it's special for any actor, but you've obviously have a history with Chris. Can you give me a little sense of just like how it happened, the veil of secrecy? Does a briefcase come with a script? What happened this time around?
Just full of money.
Yeah, exactly. A bag of money.
I mean, I was so excited to be thought of for.
Oh, you sound like a chick still, just so you know. You look like a chick still.
And to be asked to come back to
not a chick that I'd fuck.
Work with him. I loved working with him on Inception and loved being a part of that movie. So
as a woman,
yeah, I was just completely jazzed and excited, and basically went and met with Chris and talked about the part.
Well, man talks like that too. I was completely jazzed and excited.
And then sat in a room and read the script, and, you know, it was, of course, a big yes. Yeah, sadly, I can't say much, but yeah, it was such a joy to come back, and to come back now, as you can imagine, being more just comfortable in yourself makes these sorts of, you know, projects more enjoyable, just waking up every day and going to work. So to kind of get to have a Chris Nolan experience again now, that actually really just meant so much to me. Like, yeah, selfishly, just, yeah.
The tone of voice, man. That voice. Steph's been doing a great job of basically logging a lot of these clips. Now, I think we may have watched this one a couple of weeks ago, but we'll watch it again anyway.
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about the screen time given to these women, considering how little you spend with them? Oh, okay.
And then do you lean forward and look at him like that?
Yes, like, remember?
Again, the point of that is like, fucking Homer would be like, what the fuck are you talking about, lady? Get back to cleaning the toilet. Whoopsh. That's what would happen if you went up to Homer in his time and asked him a stupid fucking question like that. Remember, guys, this is supposed to get you hyped for the movie, of the Odyssey. Let's slander the writer. Let's slander the source material before and come and see it. Or you fans out there of the story, let me shit all over it and now come and see it. No, not Homer Simpson. Let's see a couple of Nolan clips of what he has to say.
And I loved seeing Elliot Page from the First Faces. You see, what was it like reuniting with him years after doing Inception together?
It was really fun. I mean, Elliot's just terrific, and I just thought this was such a great part for him. And I mean, we had such a great time years ago on Inception. It's nice to reunite with people.
And
so that's the extent of it. But like, you thought it was the perfect part for him, did you? Bringing in a character that's not in the story for him to play. Now, obviously, like, these interviews go longer. These are just bites. These are clips from it. But like, at any moment in these interviews, when these things are being said, when these things are actually being asked, what are we supposed to fucking... You're supposed to be getting us excited to watch this fucking movie. Nothing that we've seen so far has anyone... I mean, obviously, these first two had nothing to do with it. But we've seen this one. So what was it like getting that call back? Yeah, we worked on Inception together. It's been awesome. And now that I'm comfortable being a fucking weirdo, I can wake up every day. Well done. You said a bunch of nothing and you didn't tell us anything about the actual movie of the Odyssey or, you know, why should we be excited to come and see it? Cool. You just slandered fucking any fans of this fucking story. You've slandered the fucking original writer. You've slandered the fucking source material. Have we got any actual promotion or any hype for the actual movie? No. And the fact that you're even playing fucking Helen of Troy is a fucking abomination. It's an abomination to the story. Oh, what was it like getting to hook up with fucking Alan Page again? Yeah, well, we worked on Inception, so it was really good. It was fun. Cool. Did you actually give us anything in regards to the movie? What are we doing? What are we fucking... Is it going to be like, what the fuck? Nothing. Let's see. The next one. Travis Scott. This is the guy that's doing the rap fucking... I think at the end, in the end credits, but also doing the voiceover. It's the first voice that you hear in the Odyssey.
A lot of the way people look at the ancient world or the classical world in movies and in culture is...
it's not that guy.
It's sort of precision.
That's so funny. It's not that guy. That's the interviewer. It's Christopher Nolan talking about it.
A lot of the way people look at the ancient world or the classical world in movies and in culture is to sort of project their own fantasies onto it. And
no, that's complete opposite. What are you talking about, Christopher Nolan? When we as normal fucking people go into a period piece, we want the period piece to look like the period that it's supposed to be a piece of. We don't project what we like. Okay, yes, we've already got in our minds an understanding of what this period of time looked like, what a Greek warrior would have looked like. Not this fucking 5'1" female pretending to be a dude that actually doesn't even belong in the story. We know that in a Greek epic from fucking centuries ago would have been a mainly, well, pretty much an entirely white group of people, perhaps maybe closer to an olive skin, right? They're Greeks. You're the one that's projecting what you think into it and actually creating it and almost forcing that onto other people. Because if we say, hang on a second, that's not right, you call us racists. So you're the ones that are actually projecting. And it's funny that you're projecting that into the movie, exactly what you're projecting that you think that we project as fucking people watching it. It's crazy. How many hoops do you need to jump through in your brain to come to this conclusion?
To keep it at a remove.
Exactly. This is
So,
them, not me.
For example, when you talk about, academics will talk about how Homer's story was passed down as oral formulaic poetry.
Yep.
Which is really fascinating. It's like the idea that bards have just, riffed on this and kind of, freestyled it and everything. But they'll always talk about like, Yugoslav folk poets from the 1920s or whatever. They don't look at rap. They don't look at a guy like Travis Scott. And that's why I've got Travis.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Are we really dabbing up in the middle of an interview with Christopher Nolan? Oh my God.
Come on.
I don't even know what to say. Oh my
in the
God.
movie, because it's like
starting the first voice you hear is his telling this story. It was incredible.
When I was thrilled he would come to do it, but he got it immediately. It's like, no, this is how this story's been handed down, and we have that in our culture today. It's such an important part of the culture. A lot of the way.
Okay, we've got it in our culture today. So why are you projecting today's culture into a 3,000-year-old classic Greek tale? Seriously. Christopher Nolan, I honestly thought you were better than this. I really did.
The thing you've done is you sort of crystallized very clearly Zeus's law.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about it? I mean, and how you see it? Because it's articulated very clearly in the film.
Well, thank you. As I was really going back to the poem and looking at, okay, what fuels all this? What's sort of there behind it? You have this concept of Xenia. We don't refer to it as Xenia in the film because I think that would be confusing. So we just refer to it as Zeus's law. But it's that idea that, you might look like a humble beggar, but you could be a god in disguise. And that becomes the theological underpinning for a society that saw gods everywhere. Gods walked amongst us back then in everybody's estimation. It becomes the theological underpinning of the golden rule, of the idea that, treat others as you would be treated, and that being the glue that binds society together. The more I thought about it, the more that became important to the project, because the more you realize that, back then, leaving the house for more than, a day or two, you're by definition throwing yourself at the mercy of strangers. And society can only function with respect for strangers.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Seriously, man. Okay, out of everything that we've seen so far, has anything got you any information about the actual Odyssey? Based on this answer, I don't even think you know the story.
The more you look at it, the more we talked about it, the more we started bringing the project together, the more you realize nothing's changed. We're just as dependent on that. Nothing's changed in that regard. And so it's a point of connection with this text of 3,000 years ago that isn't just a great adventure story, but it's also a kind of ethical and moral foundation that connects us to a very different time.
It's more acute than ever.
I think so.
But yes, you're not wrong in that. But that was the tale that was told. You're changing that for now the modern audience. Yes. Oh my God. Anything so far that's actually, have they mentioned anything about the movie? Really? And then these are 2 new clips from today that Steph's put up.
All these women that each is so vital to what happens.
The women run this.
Yeah, when you think about the...
Oh, why do they get all these fucking faggots to come out and fucking ask stupid fucking questions? And then these dumb cunts give retarded fucking answers. Yeah, this fucking... Oh, another one. That's who the modern audience is. The fags.
Odyssey, and when you think about the Trojan War, what comes to mind first is obviously the men who went to the war. But then there's so many incredible women in the story, and Chris chooses to linger with them and tell the story also from their perspective.
The thing is when Homer told the story, I would say, and I think a few people have touched on this, there was more women in the story, even from way back when, that you would even expect to see in the story. It's because their part of the story is relevant to why even the war happened, and or you know, all of these their importance in the story needs to be mentioned. Otherwise, why are these people doing these things? Right? So these characters, but that's the extent of their role. That's the extent that they need to be mentioned. They don't need to be lingered on for any amount of time past what the importance of their involvement in the story is.
And so it just gives you a whole new appreciation of the epic that is the Odyssey.
Yeah. The epic of the Odyssey
And
with
all
the
these
women.
Women that each is so vital to what happens.
The women run this.
Yeah, when you...
Oh, the women run this. Oh, fucking gay as shit. And then you got John Leguizamo talking about his agency.
No, it's so interesting because I feel like every time I see you in a character,
Yeah, just a gay dickhead.
you never...
And I can see myself being inside you. I can't see myself in you as a character, but I can see myself being inside you.
let anyone typecast you. You do so many different things.
No, John Leguizamo's never been typecast, has he? Are you kidding me?
Why is that so important for you, especially like being in Hollywood this long?
Oh, wow, man, that's an incredible question because it's been my whole MO, my modus operandi, to not let Hollywood dictate my life. Or
Hollywood dictates your life non-stop. They're dictating your life in this fucking answer.
Or what I should be or who I should be, especially being a Latin man.
Of course.
I want to be the one has the agency. So I choose the roles I want to be, and I want to be as varied and as complex as Latin people can be.
Okay, so let me ask you guys. We've just watched let's go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clips in promotion, quote unquote, of the Odyssey. Has one of them yet mentioned anything really about the Odyssey that gives you any confidence that what you're going to go and see is the actual Odyssey? Or is it more about the agency of the characters or the agency of the women in the story? Or how we're now changing it up because, rap is rhyme. And, they made rhymes back in, these times. They had people writing poems. And, rap is like poetry. So there's a connection there and it should be the same. It's the same. Oh, and there was this. Christopher Nolan says Batman helped him prepare for irrelevant backlash to the Odyssey. That's because you know what prepared him. What I bet it is, and I'm not even going to go into it. It was the Heath Ledger casting of Joker, but it's different. It is so very different because people didn't say that they didn't think that Heath Ledger looked the part. They thought that Heath Ledger wouldn't be able to do the role as an actor well enough to portray the Joker with all the movies that he'd done, A Knight's Tale, fucking 10 Things I Hate About You, fucking all these chick flicks, fucking rom-coms, and, you know, other than Two Hands, I don't think he did anything outside of sort of that genre, and then comes into doing the Joker. Everybody thought that he wasn't the right actor. Because they didn't think his performance would be good enough. Not that, you know, if they cast Denzel Washington as the Joker, I think people would have a problem with it. Because, again, there's a race swap there. You're changing the character. Now, not like with, let's say, a Magneto character, for example, whereas doing the race swap is actually going to like affect it on that same level. I don't think in the Joker you've got this massive, and I could be wrong because I'm not a massive DC person, but this massive backstory that is relevant to the person's skin color necessarily. You know? Like with, let's say, a character like a Black Panther. Or a what's his name? Snape, Harry Potter. But I think people would have still had a problem with it. Just like people have a problem with costumes. You know, Batman's cowl. People have issues with all fucking constantly. There's things that are being debated and talked about. And some of those conversations can be really good and really awesome and very respectful and all of that kind of thing. But what other than that, what irrelevant backlash did you get in Batman that is preparing you for the irrelevant backlash that you're getting in the Odyssey? Hang on a second. I'm missing something. No, I don't have it. Hold on a second. I thought I'd saved it. Or maybe I bookmarked it and I forgot to bring it over. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Where am I putting this? Click, 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 click. And then there was this. So this was the Moana stuff that I sort of wanted to touch on, and it's relevant to the Odyssey stuff as well. Because the headline here is, hold on. The headline here is Moana creatives on working closely on honoring Polynesian, is the story of Polynesian culture and traditions. And it's funny because they are copping it now. Like even Gary coming in, this you, the Odyssey, why Elon Musk and his troll armies attacks aren't just silly, but wildly inaccurate in regards to, you know, people having criticisms towards like race swaps and not having any Greeks in there. And why is Elliot Page playing a character that doesn't even exist in this particular story? Oh, but it's okay. We'll honor this culture, but we won't honor this culture. Everybody. Now do the Odyssey. Except if it's Greek culture, I guess. They're getting roasted because it's retarded to say this. It's retarded to even do this. Yeah, Disney doing the source material right. How you doing, Blake? And then I don't know how much of this we could possibly watch, but this looks horrible, man. Looks absolutely horrible.
The ground? Oh, that was not just messing around. I put a nail, I buried the chest. Rather than Tina, you got
And it actually sounds really bad too.
coconuts. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess up my wee when he's on a breakaway. And the tapestry here on my skin.
Oh, it looks so
It's
bad.
the map of the victories I win.
It gets worse. Like, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Come to think of it, I gotta go. Hey, it's your day to say you're welcome. Cause I'm gonna need that boat. I'm sailing.
Like, what? I don't... I mean, look, I never even watched the animated Moana. I've never seen it before. I know the song because it's like the Frozen song. Like, I don't know the lyrics or anything like that. I just know the song. The kids love them. It looks like, what if fucking, is that supposed to be a bird? Okay. And he looks horrible. And the bodysuit looks horrible. Anyway. So yeah, but at least they honored the Polynesian culture and traditions while they were making and creating this movie. Yeah. It's it's shit like this. And, it's like making the argument about the Black Panther thing. All right, let's cast fucking Ryan Gosling as fucking Black Panther. Oh, but it's not the same thing. No, it is exactly the same fucking thing. And if they were to complain about it, are we allowed to now call them racist? It's the same fucking thing. Let's listen to Chris Gore and Alan on their straight out of the theater. Why is that? Oh yeah, there it is. Straight out of the theater of the Odyssey.
Here we are, Alan, with our out of the theater review of
oh my God.
The Odyssey, our social media reaction.
Christopher Nolan.
What do you think?
I was bored out of my mind. I was checked out on this movie pretty much from the beginning. The sound was awful. I couldn't understand dialogue. And then I started to understand dialogue and realized how bad the dialogue is. This is the most pretentious movie I've seen all year.
Pretentious.
And I can't wait to not see this movie again.
The thing that didn't work for me mostly was the accents. The way they spoke, I felt diminished the film.
So that's interesting. Like like if you're not going to do the accents well or anything like that, but that's the other thing too. If you had have gotten some Greek actors with a bit of a broken English Greek accent, fucking perfect.
It felt too modern, and in a way, it kind of felt like El Topo. Alejandro Jodorowsky's El Topo was like a modern Western, and this felt like a modern epic. And just look, there are parts that drag, especially the first half.
3 hours long, so the fact that Alan's bored watching the movie, it drags. And one of the things that takes Chris out of it here, obviously, is the accents. It's not stacking up. And when we haven't even gotten to, like, do the scenes with Alan of Troy take you out of it? Do the scenes with Alan Page take you out of it? Is there more than more wokeness in this movie than just that?
But then there are also moments, in particular with the Cyclops, I thought were great. The fall of Troy, I thought.
The Witch.
The Witch with
Samantha
played by
Morton.
Samantha Morton. She was very good, and the way they, the soldiers transform. I'm
Look at
not gonna
Alan.
go into detail there. I thought that was very clever, but for the most part, I'm still marinating on it. It's not a disaster, but I'll say the controversial
Yes, it is.
castings.
Not a big deal.
It's not that big a deal because of screen time.
Right. They might as well.
Yeah. Okay. So that was always going to be the thing. Like, how long is Helena Troy actually in it, or and the sister? How much screen time does Alan actually get? But then with the amount of screen time that Alan is in, Alan Page is actually in there, then what's the point in putting her in there? You know, if Helen of Troy is black, but like gets literally like 3 whole minutes of screen time, then what's the fucking point? What is the point? Why change it? Why is it so important to you to actually change it? We just wanted to honor the source material.
Big cameos.
They're really not in the movie all that much. Although Elliot Page as Sinan is the greatest soldier I've ever known. It was called that in the movie. That's like a line in the movie.
Yeah.
There you go. A line in the movie that Sinan, the trans fucking psycho, is the best fucking Greek soldier that's ever lived.
It's you know, it's one of those things where you see a Nolan film the first time, you're like, why do you do this and that? And then the second time you see it, maybe it bothers you less.
It's not going to happen.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm seeing it the second time on Thursday.
Here's my big thing. That was Matt Damon on screen. That was Anne Hathaway on screen. That was Tom Holland.
So this is what I'm getting from these guys, is that they were bored. It obviously dragged. It's 3 hours long. The accents took them out, and the actors are basically the actors acting as opposed to portraying the characters. It's like when you see The Rock, it's The Rock, you know?
On screen. There was no characterization, no effort to say, I'm playing this character. I'm seeing Matt Damon and Hathaway and everyone. And it just doesn't feel part of the period.
I don't like that the colors were muted. It felt very muted. It should have been grand and colorful, and it wasn't that. And I thought the music, it's not the best for a Nolan film. Usually the score carries the movie a lot. This one didn't.
A lot of drumming.
The Travis Scott song over credits.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see it at the Academy Awards this year.
You won't. I will say this movie will probably win a lot of technical Oscars.
Oh, it's going to win all the awards. The whole reason this movie was made was for all the awards. And I know that there's people like some people saying Christopher Nolan got all the awards last year with for Oppenheimer. So they've changed the rules of the Academy Awards, and he's playing ball with that, and with something like this. And I swear it's going to sweep the awards.
And it is guaranteed to win an Oscar for casting. And there's a reason for that. There's a lot I want to say that I can't. This is initial
You'll get the award for
reaction.
Best Picture.
And my reaction is not a disaster, but mixed. And for Alan,
Disaster, not mixed.
not a disaster, mixed. Okay, we'll talk more later this week.
Wednesday.
There you go. So you can catch up with those two. I'm sure they'll do a full breakdown at some point. It's not boding well, is it? It doesn't look good. Doesn't sound good. I'm going to get rid of some of these tabs. Yeah. And like I said, everything that they've basically been promoting, or everything that they've been doing in promotion of this fucking movie, has been a disaster. An absolute disaster. Now, I just quickly wanted to touch on this. I thought that this was kind of funny. Yellow Flash has been calling out Rachel Leishman. And look, we watched, I think, some of this interview that she did for Supergirl on Flashcast. And this outfit that she's wearing is not flattering at all. It's actually kind of disgusting that you think that you can wear something like that and it be like, we've just got to be, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Accepting of it. So apparently Flash DM'd her. You should consider a diet. You don't look healthy. Did she? Oh, no. So Flash posts that. Look at that face. Look at that body. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Dress a little bit more conservatively. If you're happy with your weight and everything, I'm happy for you. But don't make me have to look at fucking the rolls. This is funny too. Like, I'm sorry, what the fuck are you doing? Who's mad? The dimple. Ugh. Ugh. Anyway. Gross. No. P-dubs, what are you talking about? She's got rolls upon rolls. She's not that big, but it's just unflattering. And, you know, if you actually, you know, you could actually make yourself better if you dress more conservatively as opposed to more slutty. You go, girl. All the hot women out there are just saying, yeah, keep doing it. You look great. You look great. Even though in the back of their mind, they're going, yeah, keep doing it, because all the guys are going to look at you and go, yuck. And then look at me and go, yeah, damn, even though maybe I'm not perfect. That's how women think. I think. No, I can't. You can't fix stupid. So anyway, I just thought it was funny. Flash is like, it's been a massive back and forward over the last few days at least. Fuck her, she's gross. All right, what else have we got here? Oh, let me just bring this up, and then we're going to watch some quartering clips, and then we'll do Seal of the Week. Oh, we've got to watch a Grizzy video for Seal of the Week. But I saw this. Now, I don't know, is this a rumor? Has anybody heard or had anything confirmed in regards to this? Because this is a very definitive statement that is being made here by Marvel Updates. Now, I don't know. It's got 310,000. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But Adam Driver has reportedly been cast as Magneto in the X-Men movie. First of all, I thought that they were casting a black Magneto. Maybe they second guessed it and they thought, oh, okay, we'll just do a black Professor X instead of a black Magneto. It's too complicated with the Magneto backstory, but we can try and make it work with the Charles Xavier backstory. So yeah, like I said, I don't know the extent of the truth of this. Black Nito. But I could see Adam Driver doing, I guess, a decent job. He's a good actor, so, you know, I'd be willing to give him a shot as Magneto. The people doing Harry Potter should have cast him as fucking Snape, really. He looks like he's in the right sort of age bracket. He's got the look. Would have been perfect. But no, they're too stupid to realize these things. And what's the X-Men movie? What are we talking about? When are we talking about an X-Men movie coming? We've got Spider-Man coming. We've got Doomsday and Secret Wars. I don't know if what's between fucking Doomsday and Secret Wars, but they need a fucking... It would be better for them to just stop. It'd be better for them to just stop and like just start again, reboot, different story, different time. Fucking just do it on a different fucking, in a different part of the multiverse, but just stay in that place. You know, we can differentiate the Spider-Mans being in different fucking places, not on the same fucking Earth. Yeah, it would have been, or it is for maybe this. Let me just do a quick search here. Let the Adam Driver is Magneto rumors begin. Adam Driver reportedly playing Magneto in Marvel's upcoming X-Men film. X-Men reboot rumor. Okay. So it is just a rumor. I wonder who started that. If it's Doomcock, I don't believe it. And if it's Mike Zero, I don't believe it. They're the same person. They're the same person. All right. Guys, this is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter stream than it usually is. Obviously, on a different day next week, it will be on Thursday for me, Wednesday for you guys in the States, back to normal time. Yeah. But let's see here. Let me just bring that down, get rid of that. All right. So, why can't I fucking pause that? I can pause that one. That worked. So the first thing that I just want to basically just touch on is I did see a clip of Chrissy once again sort of just doubling down. I know that Cecil was on there and her just mentioning that she's officially like fired from FNT. And like, this is the thing. Okay. I have now been a staple of the Flashcast panel now for at least 12 months, if not longer. No, actually, it's been way longer than that. 2 years? Well, however long it has been, it's been a long time. I'm pretty much there every week. There is the occasional stream where I'm not there, but more often than not, I am there. If Flash was to, let's say to me, Ryan, I just, I don't want you on anymore, I'd be curious into asking, like, why? What did I do? Or, has somebody said something? Whatever. and I'd want to go into that, but I wouldn't considering it being fired. Now, do I get paid to do it? No, he buys me alcohol because we drink on the stream. But I would actually think, from my perspective, it's more of a privilege for me and an honor, to be honest with you, for me to be on there. Not because Flash is anything special necessarily or anything like that. He's got a decent sized channel. He gets a decent amount of people in the chat. And it just brings eyes that possibly could come over and maybe watch some of my videos, watch some of my streams. It actually helps me build my audience and chat sometimes. You know what? We've got 44 people watching now. We'd have anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 people watching on Flashcast. It obviously doesn't bring a heap of people over, but it does give me exposure out there. That should be payment enough. But for somebody like Chrissy, like going on FNT, one of the biggest shows, like, and then to come out and say that you got fired, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And the fact that you can't see that your own actions basically caused this situation to happen, that put fucking Gary and the FNT guys between a bit of a rock and a hard place, not because they don't like you, Chrissy. It's because you didn't recognize your mistakes and you never fucking acknowledged them. And despite the fact that we know that you know what they are, read my chats. Oh, are you talking about Chrissy? Are you talking about me? Hardly read the chat, total turn off. Okay. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. I don't think the chat really has a problem with how I run my streams. Maybe they do and they just don't say anything. I pay attention to the chat and I'll bring up fucking chats every now and then and talk about, like, you know, fucking normal stream. Well, yeah, I'm ranting. Okay. I'm sorry that you don't like it. What can I say? Yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate the constructive criticism then. Oh, but yeah, okay. So we've got so Chrissy went on to Timcast and the chat started doing what the chat does.
Playing these stupid games. Burner account says banning chat, Tim. Really, next thing you'll tell us that you don't know what the oranges are for. It has always been the rule in Timcast chat that if you post the same thing 3 times in a row, you get a timeout. You guys don't get special rules because you want to post oranges or whatever. You post it 3 times, we put you in timeout for 5 minutes. You come back and post it again 3 times, we put you in timeout for a half an hour. That's it. That's it. People get all mad, and then they go online and they're like, Tim changed his chat.
I'm sorry, but that's like a little bit of a stupid rule. Especially if you got a lot of people in your chat. If a person writes something 3 times, they get banned. Okay. Or timed out. Okay. So, where was it? Where was it? I've lost it now. Ah, there. You wrote that twice. If you had have written it one more time, I would have had to time you out. That's so stupid.
Chat subscriber, always been subscriber only. Always been. In fact, we once had member-only chat for a while, and people were like, "No, we want to chat," so we changed it to subscriber-only.
So that's Tim fucking having Chrissy on, and the chat basically just spurging out with oranges and stuff like that, and they got banned. Bon bon. Bon bon. Now, somebody said something. Hold on a second. I still don't understand why Chrissy got fired, and I've watched multiple videos on the situation. Okay. Now, if you've watched multiple videos on the situation, then I don't think that there's anything that I could say that would then make you understand the situation then. First of all, I will say, I don't believe that Chrissy got fired. I don't think that that's an actual thing. When it comes to, like, Chrissy wasn't an employee of Gary's. Chrissy wasn't an employee of Friday Night Tights. She was a consistent guest / co-host. Now, yeah, maybe on the co-host side of things, you could kind of say, yeah, okay, she got fired from being a co-host. Dude, at the end of the day, this is what happened. Keno Casino, this is in a nutshell too. Keno Casino fucking making jokes and going after the quartering. The quartering then goes ahead and finds ways, uses his ways to get channels banned and struck and taken down and nuked and eliminated and all of these other bits and pieces, despite the fact that he would say that he denies doing any of it, based on the evidence that we do have, everything that we have seen, him revealing stupid shit on his own streams that actually give credence to the fact that he did all of these things. And then Melanie Mack comes out and then backs him up. Now, after she backs him up, everybody starts going after Melanie and saying, hey, Melanie, how can you possibly fucking back him up when he's doing this? And this is basically the evidence that's out there. They choose to ignore it. They choose not to even engage with it or look at any of the evidence that's being shown so that they can stay naive to it. Because if they were revealed to be shown the truth, then they certainly don't have any leg to stand on. They know it's out there. They know the truth is actually out there, but then they just refuse to. So then what happens is, in the height of all of that, Chrissy decides to have Melanie on. Now, based on what's come out since then, is that Chrissy did it on purpose for the grift. We are going to grift off the drama, right? But also, too, for her to come out and say that she had no idea what the drama was, but yet weeks before, not weeks, a week before or within a week before that, she's on a stream actually saying, before somebody actually tells her, what a lot of the controversy is and what actually is actually going on out there. So she clearly knew what was actually happening, right? So then she has Melanie on. The chat, she wants to talk about her, transition into fucking Catholicism or whatever, religion, and talk about Melanie's wedding and getting married to a gay man. And the chat had other ideas. The chat's not going to stand for that. Chrissy, you're platforming somebody that is backing up somebody false flagging and striking other channels and getting their channels taken down and all of this kind of thing. But then instead of like I've said this before, Chrissy had an opportunity in that stream to be the actual hero for the chat, to be the people's champion in regards to this. If she had have just bought up the super chats, each one, and read them out and said, Melanie, have you got an answer for that? But no, she said, false flagging, blah, blah, blah. You support that, Melanie. And she whispers it into the mic and says, I don't know anything about that. Nobody's asking you that, Chrissy. People are asking Melanie that. Can you read it to Melanie and get her to give us an answer instead of her just laughing and you sweeping? And then because the chat came after you so hard and turned on you so hard. At the beginning of that stream, they weren't going to turn on you. They were willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and hope that you would ask these questions of your guest with all this controversy going on. But you knew all that, didn't you? Now, Gary doesn't want that shit coming over to his channel. If you're sitting there refusing to acknowledge what your mistakes are in all of this, and then you go on to F&T, what happens to that stream? What happens to that chat? That's what happened. And you still refuse to acknowledge, you still refuse to even after all of that happened, and you had Nina Infinity coming out and going, what are you talking about, Chrissy? We've got stream video evidence of you actually knowing. And then the whole thing with Brittany Venti and the cake and good dude, it went out of control. But to say that you were fired from F&T, no. The consequences of your actions made it so that Gary had no choice in the matter but to not send you the link anymore. Because that's all it is. He's just not sending you the link anymore. Just like, Tom Connors was an original person on the first, opening parts of Friday Night Tights. Now he's not there anymore. Was he fired? No, they probably just let him go. I don't know why. I don't know the circumstances of all of that. Maybe it was a mutual decision. I don't know. But I can't sit there and say that he was fired. Chrissy, how much were you getting paid for your appearance on Friday Night Tights? I'm curious. Because a firing would mean that you were actually employed and being paid to be there. So I'm curious, where's that contract? And, if let's say you were an employee and you were employed, you'd have a case for unfair dismissal. Wouldn't you? Don't you? I'm using Australian law and the fact that you need to give 3 written notices within a 3-month period to be able to let somebody go. Why is my face? Because I got a headache and I'm just trying to push through today. I'm sorry. Here, you can get, hi. You can get a second. You can get a second. My guess, $500. What? That Chrissy was being paid per stream, per appearance? No way. No way. No way. Because Chrissy would show up half an hour into the show sometimes. Sometimes she'd be there from the beginning, all of that kind of thing. But if Gary is having to pay Chrissy $500 for how much she doesn't contribute, that means he's paying everybody else that amount of money too. So basically every Friday Night Tights is costing Gary $4,000. I don't know. Are we seriously thinking that's the case? Now, I'm not saying that, maybe Gary does give some kickbacks to some of his panel members. I don't know. Maybe when Shad and them met up in England, when they went on that trip or whatever together, I don't know. Maybe Gary paid for some of Shad's trip. I don't know. But I'm sure that there is no explicit, you appear, you get $500. I bet you there's nothing like that. If anything, it's been, it's been really awesome. The stream's been kind of successful. You're on the stream. You are contributing to it. Here's a little something, something. That's the extent of any payment that's happening, if any. $5 for headache medicines. Thank you very much. Steak Shade. Thank you. I do have headache medicine and I have taken some, but it's lingering. It really is lingering. Question, is it split equally? This is the thing. Gary, everybody that goes on to Friday Night Tights, you know, a lot of them are successful YouTubers in their own right, but they fucking, I bet you, like, you know, Disparu didn't like negotiate a price to be on Friday Night Tights when fucking Gary offered for him to be a staple of Friday Night Tights. And again, I don't know the ins and outs of it all. And I'm sure that there has been times where Gary has been generous to his guests and his co-hosts, his consistent guests and his consistent co-hosts in some way, shape, or form. I mean, look, I would hope that he has been. It doesn't necessarily mean that he actually has to be. He could be a selfish piece of shit and keep everything to himself if he wants to. It's his fucking channel. It's his fucking money. It's his fucking, it's his world over there. This is why the entire narrative of Chrissy was fired from Friday Night, it's bullshit. It's absolute fucking bullshit. Because under no circumstances, even if we were fucking live and fucking Flash was to kick me off Flashcast for the rest of time because we have some massive fucking argument, I still wouldn't say that I was fired. I would say that me and Flash had a falling out and it meant that I couldn't go on Flashcast anymore. And a public one at that, if it was public. Whatever. Chris has a case technically, but her lawyers know it best not to. Well, like, it wouldn't be a good look if she, like, I don't know whether or not she does or not. Like, again, I don't, like, for me, is it the fact that Flash does give me money to buy alcohol? Is that like a form of employment and payment? And then if he was to get rid of me, like at the snap of a fingers, like unfair dismissal, I've got a lawsuit on my hands? I don't think there is. I don't think Chrissy does have a case. And I could be wrong. You could be right. I just don't think that that's how this works. So let's move on to the next clip. So hang on. I hope the super chats were worth selling yourself out. Is he saying that? Quartering one ways into the F&T drama. Firing of Chrissy May. Fucking stupid narrative.
/premium promo code studio. No ads, more freedom. And the content you actually care about. That's the deal. And you're supporting free speech. So there's a lot of good reasons. Let's see. Graham would be an awesome senator. Yeah, I love it. Should have Salty Cracker on your show sometime. Oh, I would love to. I would love to. He's been on before, I think, and I've been on his show before, but he's kind of like I am. He's just kind of like a one-man show for the most part. I find that kind of the one-man show thing seems to work a little bit better. Like my viewers seem to like it a little bit better in my experience.
Really?
But that's just me.
Breaking point.
I like when we do co-hosts. It's fun, but I also like kind of this one-on-one experience where we're just kind of chatting and working together.
I like doing these like single streams as well. It's fun doing panel streams and being able to bounce conversations and stuff like that off each other. But I do like doing it solo sometimes too.
Together to get to the bottom of stories and interacting. Maybe try to do a stream with Crowder. I've been on Crowder's stream before. It's just he's a in-person guy, so that means I have to fly to Texas. When is Chrissy Mayer doing her first appearance on what? I'm not sure. Is she on a new show? Shout out to her. I thought she was only on a timeout from Friday Night Tights. Friday Night Tights, the show told me, I even got community noted that said she wasn't fired for having Melanie Mack on her podcast.
She wasn't fired. The key word there being that the incorrect part of that statement is fired. She wasn't fired. Yeah, she was essentially put into a timeout to basically sort out the drama, to acknowledge her mistake. All she had to do was acknowledge her mistake. Apologize. Well, this is the thing. Like the chat, sometimes they're going to do what they do, right? But if she actually had have genuinely realized what she had done wrong and understanding it, then I think that there could have been some sort of redemption and she could have possibly come back onto Friday Night Tights. But she never actually acknowledged it. So the timeout became, okay, it's a permanent timeout.
But it seems to me that she has been fired. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but those free speech warriors over on
Was she
that
ever
show
hired? No.
were really upset about people.
Look, I don't know that 100% that she was never actually hired, but I don't think that there was ever. I don't think that Gary has employment contracts for everybody on Friday Night Tights. Disparu, fucking Odin. Like all of those, like, come on.
Getting deplatformed one of their own creators for doing a podcast with somebody they didn't.
They didn't deplatform her. She's still got her own platform. She still talks to fucking porn stars and fucking does her simcasts and does everything that she's done. She's no longer a guest / co-host on Friday Night Tights because of her own actions.
Like, that's what it looks like to me.
Solo streams work better when you read the chat. He's got your back. He's got your back. Bubba Cafe, Butter Cafe, sorry. Caleb's got your back. Fuck you, Caleb.
I got community noted and said she wasn't fired.
She wasn't. And she's never been fired.
Pretty sure she hasn't been on the show ever since she had Melanie Mack on her show.
Yes, consequences of her own actions and not taking responsibility for those actions and not even recognizing what the problem actually is. Never recognizing what the problem actually is.
Very free speech of them. Not very free speech of them.
It's like if somebody murders somebody and then they come to you and they're like, can you please hide this murder weapon? And you comply and you hide the murder weapon, you are now, what's the word? A fucking accessory to the murder, right? You, Quartering, deplatformed people, got Melanie Mack on your side to come out publicly in support of you, despite the evidence that we had to say that it was you, and you refusing to prove, despite the fact that you say that you've got proof that it wasn't you, despite you refusing to prove that it wasn't you. And then you've got Chrissy speaking with Melanie and sweeping. It's like hiding the knife. It's like hiding the murder weapon. Oh, how do you feel about deplatforming the Culture Casino? The question was directed at Melanie, and you're saying, "Oh, I don't know anything about that." Move on. If you can't see that that's what you've done fucking wrong, and the consequences of your actions are that you basically by default swept and supported false flagging, despite the fact that you sit there and go, false flagging is wrong. False flagging is wrong. Okay, what about this scenario of false flagging? Let's stop talking about it very broadly and let's isolate it to this particular scenario. How do you feel that the quartering has been caught out in false flagging channels and getting channels removed? And then how do you feel about your friend Melanie Mack coming out in support of that? Just because she fucking gets a fucking wage, just because she's employed to fucking be Jeremy's little lackey? You hid the murder weapon, Chrissy. You hid the murder weapon and you refused to acknowledge that you hid the murder weapon, despite the evidence showing that you did. And that you knew about the murder before the murder even really fucking happened. It's crazy.
Now, I was told that she wasn't fired.
She wasn't. She was never fired. She was never
But
hired.
it looks like
she was never
to me
fired.
that she was fired for simply having Melanie Mack on her show. But I don't know. Not in those rooms. I don't know the inner workings of what they did.
Yeah, so you don't know. So you don't know that she... So, see, this is the thing. Oh, she's clearly fired. She's not fucking on Friday Night Tights anymore. I just told that she was put in timeout, but now it seems like she's completely fired. But I don't know the ins and outs of what was actually happening. So how can you sit there and say that she was fired?
Thought they dropped her because trolls in the chat would determine the show and not follow what was discussed. Well,
Why did quartering false flag Kino Casino in the first place? Because Kino Casino was fucking laughing at him in regards to the force cream pie thing that he revealed. It sort of came out that there was a possibility of a Jewish bull coming out and actually fucking his wife. And then there was stuff that escalated into, holy shit, he's taking these meds that make him like not be able to get hard. It's adding fuel to the fact that there could be some credence to this bull coming out and fucking his wife, right? And they were having a laugh about it. That, you know, he was the one that revealed all of this stuff. He was the one that opened his mouth. And then, you know, the quartering's trying to say, oh, how dare you come after my wife? She's not an internet person, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, we're not coming after your wife. We're just saying that your wife's being fucked by a Jewish bull. We're actually coming after you for being a cuck. But also, too, in all of that, in every fucking stream that you do, you tell us a story about your wife. You've told a story about how your wife's vagina stinks. You've said that. Are we not allowed to commentate on that or criticize that or say how disgusting that is and how disrespectful that is to your wife, that you come onto a stream and you talk about when your wife became a vegan or a vegetarian or something, her fucking pussy started to smell? I bet you her pussy smelled like your belly button fucking lint. Oh no, I'm late and gay. No, you're not. You're all good. So he's the one that put all of this information out there in the first fucking place for people to have a laugh at, criticize, all of this kind of shit. And that's exactly what Kino Casino did, because that's exactly what Kino Casino do. They A-log these fucking retards that do stupid shit like this. And because they were fucking, it all ramped up, and then the false flagging happened. He came out and said that he has somebody at YouTube that he could go to. I don't even need to fucking flag someone. But then there was also then the link that came up of the report that thank you for your report from YouTube, that he revealed. All the evidence points to you as the false flagger, the flagget. And then that escalated into everybody turning on you because the evidence was clear enough, and you're trying to say that you didn't. And look, all my reports are empty. All my reports, and look, he's trying to show, but he's got another channel and he refuses to show that channel because that's the channel that he reported from. Imagine your wife fucks other guys for you. That sounds so fucking weird. Imagine your wife fucks other guys for you, and the way you repay her is by talking about her stinky vagina online. What a horrible person this guy is. Agreed. So then he starts false flagging channels. He flagged and got the main Kino Casino clip channel, which wasn't even owned by Andy Warski or PPP. It was owned by their editor, who was making good money off it, who's got a family that he needs to support. And that was the channel that he got taken down, the clip channel. Because he's got no power over Kick, where they actually do their streams.
I mean, there's two ways to handle that. I mean, you can block and mute the trolls, or you can be a pussy and be more worried about your super chats. You know, I choose to block and mute trolls who have a problem with my co-hosts or people I have on the show. That's one way to handle it. The other way to handle
you sit there for fucking half an hour in dead air, no fucking talking whatsoever, fucking banning people in your chat.
it is to be a massive floppy vagina and be afraid of losing a few super chats.
What? Hang on. Or was he talking about his wife's vagina again?
Or you can be a pussy and be more worried about your super chats. You know, I choose to block and mute trolls who have a problem with my co-hosts or people I have on the show. That's one way to handle it. The other way to handle it is to be a massive floppy.
That may be the case. That may be the case, that they do get paid every week to show up. But that I don't think that there would be any contract or anything in place. That's just Gary being generous. It's like, Flash doesn't have to give me money for the alcohol. But out of the kindness of his heart, he actually fucking does, because we drink on stream. And he does get a decent amount of super chats here and there. He obviously does the ad read for Rumble Wallet, which I don't know what he gets for that, but he gets something for that. So he might actually pay everybody to be on. But again, it's out of the generousness of his own heart. Like that there's no written contracts or anything like that. It's still not a hiring or a firing. It's unfortunate for Chrissy that she's lost diaper money, if that is the case.
Vagina and be afraid of.
And how you doing, Nutrium? Good to see you.
Losing a few super chats.
It's all right, man. I think it's you. Your comments on my tweets about when we're doing Flashcasts and stuff. I know that you don't like Flash.
And fire your co-host who'd been on the show for years. That's another way to handle things. It's not how I would handle it. You know, people say a lot of things to me about Melanie Mack, for example. They don't like Melanie, or people hated Luke when he was on the show. I don't give a shit. Don't watch then. That's just how I would handle it. You know, the other way is to be a huge pussy and be worried about losing a few super chats. That's another way to handle it.
Fuck you again, Caleb.
One way is to bend the knee to the mob and be a giant vagina. Another way is to tell the mob to get bent. These are just two different ways of handling it.
See, I don't think the mob was dude. It's the consequences of our actions.
I'm not saying one way is better than the other. I'm not saying anyone's a huge pussy for bending the knee to a few trolls in chat. I'm just saying that's not how I handle it. And different strokes for different folks. Okay, so, you know, I wish them all the best.
I would love to just put him into a similar position like that. So let's say he had Melanie Mack and he had Hannah Claire and him obviously doing their normal stream or whatever. And let's say Hannah in this situation is Chrissy. And we're talking about a whole nother streamer, let's say, and Hannah ends up having, let's say, Melanie or, you know, somebody on that fucking supported false flagging and everything, and the chat came after them and blew everything up, and nobody liked that person anymore because they got caught in all their lies and all their bullshit. I'd like to see what Quartering would do in that situation. Because as soon as Chrissy, let's say Hannah in that case, was to come back onto his stream, the chat would be flooded with all this stuff. Super chats would be coming in, fucking after fucking Hannah Claire, what you lied, blah, 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 blah. Would you have her on and just sweep it like what Chrissy did? Would you have her on and actually read the super chats to her or read the messages to her and confront her? Would you have her on and as soon as the chat spurgs out and everything fucking goes haywire, you just ban like fucking 50% of the chat? What would you do in that situation?
Wish them all the best. Hope this.
Yeah, wish you all the best. No, you don't. What's this one?
When is Chrissy Mayer doing her first appearance on what?
Oh, we just listened to that. That's just a smaller clip of the same thing that we just watched. Oh, this ad read.
And she's about to find out, and I'm 100% here for it. 100% here for it. I do want to give a huge shout out to this stream's sponsor here.
Now, Flash has mentioned this a lot, like in regards to the head turn and the breathing. Like this dude he must have like a very small lung capacity. The breaths in between sentences is crazy. We can almost count. Let's count.
And she's about to find out, and I'm 100% here for it.
Oh, we got a bit of a
100% here for it.
What? Oh,
I do want to give a huge shout out to this stream's sponsor.
One.
Here.
Two.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, or have you filed every year but still keep owing?
Three.
Did you retire and suddenly get hit with a tax bill you didn't expect? Are you a business owner with messy books and a balance you can't afford?
Five.
Maybe you pulled money from your 401k or IRA early. Now the IRS wants its share.
Six.
However your tax issue started, the outcome is the same. Your balance is not going down. Penalties grow. Interest compounds.
Seven.
And many of you are about to owe again this upcoming year with no plan in place.
Eight.
Stop what you're doing and call Tax Network USA.
Nine.
The IRS is not waiting. The IRS is enforcing collections through wage garnishments, bank levies, and property seizures. They can even file for you without your consent. File for you without your consent.
We missed 10.
That's where Tax Network USA comes in.
And this is the thing. I think it's just mentioning like the blandness of the ad read. Like,
with over 15 years in the business, there hasn't been a tax case that they haven't seen or resolved.
11.
They specialize in tax controversies and help taxpayers nationwide help get back on track, resolving back taxes and unfiled returns once and for all.
12.
Whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, their team has resolved over $1 billion
13.
in tax debt. And they can do the same for you, but you have to call now.
14.
They're planning a free investigation call with the IRS. After this investigation, they put in a clear case plan
That
in
was
place to
15.
resolve your tax problem and get you back on track. This is about you using your legal rights
16.
to take control of the government.
17.
Sets the terms for you.
18.
Before the government sets the terms for you. Do not wait for another IRS letter or a frozen bank account. Call 1-800-958-1000.
19.
1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/Jeremy.
21.
Or click the link in the description down below. Shout out Tax Network USA.
21. And we had a little bit of a hiccup in there. 21. Gasp of air. In a minute and 57 seconds. We have blocked 196,471 ads for you. Good. I'm not paying for anything. Fucking the quartering, man. So fat and gross. The original title that I had in the thing was just the quartering is still fat, and I'm like, I don't know whether or not I should put that in the title, so I just made it the quartering. The quartering is still fat. He is. Let's see. You reckon he's got contracts with his core panel? I don't know. And I don't think we'll ever really know. Flash doesn't have contracts with his core panel. And I know Flash is, you know, Flashcast isn't as big as Friday Night Tights or, you know, for somebody like Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers, like he'd have contracts. Like I'm sure that, you know, Ryan's employed, Drunk 3PO would be employed, Beardo would probably be employed, Steph might be employed. I don't know. I don't know. But still, the consequences of her own actions, as far as I'm concerned, she fucked it up. And she never took responsibility for or recognized what the issues actually were. All right. I did have Asmongold here calling fucking Candace Owens retard. Which is kind of funny. I just like Asmongold. I don't agree with him necessarily on everything and all the takes that he has, but...
Candace is a fucking retard. Candace is a retard, and the moment, like, anybody that takes her seriously is also a retard.
Yeah.
Like, does she say things that I agree with occasionally? Of course, a lot of people do. I mean, there are things that I agree with Karl Marx on. That doesn't mean that he's right. Doesn't mean he's not a retard. So, yeah, I mean, she's trying to make a buck off it. Well, I think that Candace Owens wrote herself into a corner with getting so extreme that she's basically attracted some of the most mentally ill people inside of her office.
I just find it funny that everything that Candace Owens has been basically talking about, and I've only really seen clips. It's not like I sit down and watch Candace fucking Owens. But like from the clips and stuff that I've seen for the last fucking, 10 months or so, fucking... she's been wrong at every turn because in this case, they're not using, like, from my understanding, the evidence is pretty clear. Pretty clear. We'll have to wait and see. And we'll have to wait and see what we get to see. But yeah, she is retarded.
Audience. And because of that, you know, I think what happened is that she kind of
does speak like a tard. I can't stand the way she says burial. Boreal. She can't pronounce words properly.
It's like once you start riding the tiger, you can't get off. You can't stop being that crazy conspiracy theory person. Once you cross that Rubicon, you don't go back to being normal. That's it. The bridge is burned.
If necessary, through the appropriate trial procedures, including voir dire
She's not
and
wrong
any
for
other
asking
measures
questions.
warranted.
She is wrong for asking questions because they're stupid questions. Like this whole, I'm just asking questions. What if it was alien Israeli Mossad Jews that shot Charlie Kirk? No, I don't want to hear you. Oh, I'm just asking questions. It's just a question. What if it was the robots? What if it was Israel? What if it was Benjamin Netanyahu that called out a hit on him? No, it's just fucking retarded. Bitch, then you'd be dead. That's the reality. Oh, well, Charlie Kirk, so this is the reason why they're going to kill Charlie Kirk is because, so Israel has this huge plan and they're going to control everything because, you know, the Jews control it all. And now they're going to kill him because he's going to expose it. What are you doing? What are you doing right now? What are you doing? You're doing it. You're so why aren't you dead? Why haven't they killed you?
Reaper. That's pretty much it. We've got Seal of the Week, but we've got a Grizzy video. We've only got 2 nominees. We've got Grizzy video and Jacob. So funny. I saw Melvin talking about this. Actually, I should probably play the clip first. Hold on. Hold on a second. Here we go.
I'm all the Jedi.
All right. Here we go. My headache's getting worse. Jacob apparently lost a little bit of weight, decided to take a little feminine photo of himself, suck in that gut. So funny. Melvin, I said, like, in Melvin's chat, you know, all he did was, well, it doesn't even really look like he shaved. I said he took this photo and then he went and shaved a little bit and then he came back and he took this photo, sucking in the gut. There was one specific post. Where was it? I thought that this was actually kind of funny. So really love this quick bit in The Force Awakens where we actually see all 4 lasers from an X-Wing blast through 4 separate stormtroopers. It's just like how like when you go back and you watch this again, it's kind of like how lucky were we? 1, 2, and then the ones right next to them, 3 and 4. So lucky. So, Jacob, you get a nominee just for that post in itself. And then we're going to watch Grizzy's video here. 5 minutes. Disney Star Wars shill desperately tries to hype potential Rey return in Star Wars Starfighter.
What's up, everyone? It's Return of the Jedi here, and this week...
Return of the Jedi.
In Star Wars...
Look at his t-shirt. Gay. He's got a giant ghost over here. Gay.
Collections, characters I love, We're going to talk about one of my favorite characters of all time, Rey.
Favorite character of all time.
God. So with the rumor that Rey will appear in Star Wars Starfighter has also begun the campaign amongst some Disney Star Wars shills.
I fucking hope she's in it. I fucking hope that she's in it.
To encourage people to forget how terrible she was in the sequel trilogy, get excited for her return and excited to give her a fourth chance.
What if I told you that we got Starfighter, and Starfighter is one of, if not one of the top three, we'll say top three greatest Star Wars movies of all time. But Rey's in it.
I'm not even gonna begin to go into what is wrong with that.
They're going to show her. They're going to give us Rey. Not only to give us a badass entrance for Rey to save this child, but to set up her next movie. Because we got to set up this new saga.
A badass entrance from Rey to set up the new saga. In fact, it'll be so badass, you'll have no choice but to love it.
I saw somebody mention it in the chat as well. If Rey is in this film, it will hurt the film. I disagree with that to an extent.
To an extent, I think it's going to destroy the film.
Anything with Rey's name on it is going to be met with quite the backlash from some Star Wars fans. But you can't argue with what's good. And you cannot deny greatness.
Well, it depends on what you define as good. Because based on your definition of good, I mean, The Mandalorian and Grogu was good. So, take that what you will.
Remind us all again, please. What is your definition of good?
Oh,
what is your
Grizzy.
definition of greatness? What is your definition of peak
Here we
Star
go.
Wars?
I think when you look at the last couple of years of Star Wars content, it's like we're just sitting on peak. Nobody knows it. Or everybody knows it. We just don't like to admit it, I guess. From the Ahsoka series to the Bad Batch ending a couple of years ago to
Jesus.
the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew.
Is she all there?
Like mentally?
So if Rey is...
The funny thing is like he actually mentioned like the worst shows. Like, yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi was bad. Yeah, fucking Book of Boba Fett was bad. Mandalorian was bad. But like the Acolyte, Ahsoka, those were abominations. Not to say that fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't an abomination, but you know what I mean? Like, these ones just, especially this, fucking hard.
As peak in this as the Acolyte was as a series, it'll be undeniable that she's a great character all of a sudden.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
Think about Vader.
So straight off the bat, we're going to obviously nominate him and nominate Jacob as the two seals of the week. So I'm going to start the poll now. We are going to finish this. So we're going to make Jacob number one. Okay. So Jacob is number one, and then this guy is number two. And we've only got those two for today. Shout out, lurkers. Shout out to you guys. If you're just lingering, watching, listening along, please smash the like button. How you doing, chat? All right. Let's continue.
Rogue One. The hallway scene?
It's the only thing that people can bring up from Rogue One because the rest of the movie's fucking boring and slow.
Skywalker, The Mandalorian Season 2, The Great Rescue.
Yeah.
Like, we need something of that level.
Luke Skywalker.
Something undeniably badass and cool that will hopefully help set up people to like this character a little bit more.
Yeah, having her go full Mary Sue at the end of this movie isn't gonna do that. In fact, it's probably gonna make people hate her more.
Yeah.
They made the Book of Boba Fett and put in a Luke Skywalker.
Let's be real, Grizzy. Just bringing her in, even if it literally is just like, let's say, Luke Skywalker moment at the end of The Force Awakens, you know, him on the cliff. That's the extent of the cameo. It's going to be bad for it.
Walker that is just undeniably badass and cool.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
So then people went, oh yeah, this is the Luke Skywalker we wanted to see.
No.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
So if they can do that same thing with Rey, if they can have Rey show up and save the day in a badass
you,
way
Ronan?
that is undeniably cool, then there's not going to be many people complaining about it.
Yeah.
This guy just genuinely can't accept the fact that a strong majority of the Star Wars fan base, even a majority of the Disney Star Wars fan base, hates this character.
She's not my favorite character.
But also, too, you got to remember, guys, this was the dude that said, "Oh, it's going to make Mandalorian Grogu is going to make $1 billion. It's guaranteed $1 billion, and if it's good, it can make 1.3. If it's good, like and then he went all the way up to the $2 billion mark. $340 million later, fucking disaster."
Character from the sequels. Although I am.
So this guy clearly doesn't live in the real world. He doesn't live in, when it comes to Star Wars, he's isolated in his own head.
Open-minded enough to want more of her character.
And he also thinks that all the people that he watches in the YouTube and how his algorithm is the majority, as opposed to it being a very, very small minority in comparison.
What a bitch.
Remember, it was announced at Fake Star Wars Celebration 2023 that the Rey
2023.
movie, directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, was going to be the first Star Wars movie back in theaters. And there has been exactly
2023.
zero progress made towards that movie ever getting released.
Yep.
Because the fan reaction was so overwhelmingly negative. And it's still negative.
Well, it wasn't just negative, though, Grizzy, to Rey. There was obviously negativity towards them bringing Rey back, but it was also Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's continuously opening her mouth about a female now being the creator or whatever. And she still wouldn't shut her mouth, to the point where they, like I've said this before, they had to announce the Mandalorian and Grogu movie 3 months or something after Star Wars Celebration. Weird. As a distraction from Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy being an absolute retard with her mouth open. And that movie got released and came out. I swear that was never the plan. It was never the plan. The Lucasfilm has always been reactive in the wrong ways.
There's actually reports out there saying that Rey was originally planned to be a part of Star Wars Starfighter and has been quietly removed as of late.
So Daisy Ridley training, it says Daisy Ridley making incredibly hard stuff look easy day one.
Hey, when she does that, it almost looks like what when she does the crutches, that bit. We got a clip for that.
Oh, Mother, read that.
Mother, don't let the American bitch.
Did you just fart?
Yes, I did. Tell you what to do.
I think it's bedtime, Mother.
Question mark.
I think it's bedtime for Mother.
You pushed so far.
That's the type of videos that we watch on fucking Happy Hump Day.
I can't pee. Oh my god.
Oh.
Hashtag abs for days.
And what this is all about at the end of the day for these Disney Star Wars
Yeah, he
shills
did.
is about
Fucking
fixing
hilarious.
the sequels in the eyes of the fans.
Whenever somebody hears the name Rey, whenever somebody hears the word sequel trilogy, they start to lose their minds. And Starfighter can help mend that problem.
No,
in
it
the Star Wars
can't.
fandom.
No,
Because
it
so many
can't.
Star Wars fans over the years grew to love the prequel trilogy.
Star
And
Wars
it
is
is the
done.
wet
Star Wars
dream
fucked.
of some of these Disney fans
Over.
for the same to happen with the sequels.
Having said that, too, you also have to keep into account the generation that grew up on the sequel trilogy. Those people, let's say you were an 8-year-old going to see The Force Awakens.
Yeah, with their dad or their mum that fucking hated it, that then they said, "No, this is shit, so don't even bother with it."
Now you're 18.
Yeah.
Now you're of an age where you're online now talking about those movies and how much you
They're
like those
not talking about them. Where are they talking about them? Show me.
characters.
You sure about that?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
if I was an 8-year-old girl, I'd think that Rey's the coolest thing ever too, probably.
You
So
are an 8-year-old girl.
It's those kids who grew up on those movies that are now going to have a very loud voice online who grew up loving those characters.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething.
There we go.
All right, everyone. That's all I
Thanks for watching. Go and subscribe to Grizzy, ladies and gentlemen. Give that video a like. So there are your nominees for this week's Seal of the Week. I'm sure you've already got a lot of your votes in. I saw a lot of 2s in the chat when I first put it in there. So I'm guessing that's probably who won. Let's take a look. We got 15 votes in. I think it's a clear winner. Ladies and gentlemen. We're going to end the poll. So, hang on. Let's get his face up here. Okay, so in last place, technically the runner-up, with 27% of the vote. Jacob, you can't catch a fucking break at the moment. You just can't get a win. Everybody likes the fact that you're a fucking shill, and they know that you're a fucking shill and a Disney seal. But you just don't get the wins, do you? But this week, the winner for this week's Seal of the Week with 73% of the vote. I don't even know his fucking name. What's his name, chat? Is this guy. Congratulations, this guy. You are this week's Seal of the Week. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. That is the game. A guy who likes fake Star Wars. Oh. I forgot about Star Wars Explained. My God. Fuck Star Wars Explained. They're fucking Molly and Alex. They're fucking losers as well. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. It's been awesome. We will see you next week. Obviously, back to normal time. I'm pretty sure we'll be back to normal time. So Thursday afternoon, if you're in Australia, Wednesday evenings, if you're in America. We'll be probably just touching on the next episode of House of the Dragon. I think we'll be talking a little bit about the Odyssey because that's out this weekend. I've got to try and find a way to see it. I'm not going to the theater to see it. Not only do I not want to give these movies my actual money, but like the theater's not cheap these days. Fucking not cheap at all. Yeah, so we'll be doing our usual shit next week. You can catch me on Flashcast on the weekend. Should be able to have a pretty decent Odyssey discussion there too, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, thanks again everyone for hanging out. Thanks for the support tonight, guys. Anyone that sent super chats. And Mike Hill for his 55-month, 4.5-year member chat. Appreciate you. Yes, I will see you Sunday. For me. Nice. Is there someone we can raid before we do actually get out of here? Normally, Phil is streaming, but we're on a different day, so I don't know whether or not he will be, but let's see if there's anyone streaming. Hold on a second. That we can raid. Why is this taking so long? Come on now. Raid. Oh, Hypnotic is streaming. He's gaming. We'll just send you over there. All right, guys. Thanks again for hanging out. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Take care. Oh, I nearly just clicked like end stream, but I got to do the outro. Here, you can have Mozza farting again.
Oh, Mozza, read that.
So
Mozza, don't let the American bitch.
Did you just fart?
Yes, I did. Tell you what to do.
I think it's bedtime, Mozza.
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
I think it's bedtime for Mozart. That's the type of videos that we watch on fucking Happy Hump Day.
All right, guys. Bye.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!
A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like Dustin Crop's kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. They're bounce into a supermarket and then...
Yeah.
Be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. You're losing the deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking it very cautiously.
You... Go away!
We bounced too near a supermarket?
Put a ticket in and make her name it gay!